What's up, guys? Fat Archon here, bringing another 40k video. Today we're going over how to get set up and running with Tabletop Simulator for playing 40k specifically, but this will work for pretty much anything. At least a lot of it will. So I've had a few people ask me, hey, what app are you using? Like, how the heck are you getting those model scans? Tabletop Simulator is a magical piece of software engineering. Super cheap, too. I believe it's only $10. I'm not sure if it's on sale or that's how it always is, but it is cheap. Only 10 bucks. Like I sort of mentioned, you can play pretty much any freaking board game or tabletop game or war game. Pretty much any one you can think of. Chances are it's built into Tabletop Simulator already, or is like available. Also, too, if you're good at modeling, you can always, like, make your own. That'd be pretty fun. So, first step, obviously, get on Steam, download this game. I wouldn't even think about it. I would just do it. If you're trying to improve at 40k or play more 40k, I would, like, not even hesitate to get Tabletop Simulator. Invaluable tool. It should be kind of obvious for, like, the reasons why. One of, it takes a while to get set up for real play. And you gotta, like, have somebody to play with. Maybe they aren't, like, maybe their work schedule doesn't work, all that sort of stuff. And that doesn't count in, like, transport, packing your models, staying hydrated, like, all that sort of stuff. Tabletop Simulator takes that all out of there. Theoretically, you could get a game going in, like, 30 seconds with Tabletop Simulator. They also tend to go through way quicker than it would be in person. So a lot of times, especially if it's like a wipe or whatever, you can finish a game in like an hour, which is like wild. Don't always expect that, like, this is still 40k, so sometimes it will take a while, but still, you can get a game going. So first step, you got Tabletop Simulator downloaded. Me, personally, the next step I would do, get on the workshop and just take a look at some of the options that are out there. So, like, I remember when I first got TTS, I just, like, search for 40k, and it was like, what's in here? Got a bunch of maps, you're going to have units, you're going to have, like, the index cards, you're going to have all sorts of stuff. You can also start looking for your own stuff, so maybe I want Chaos Demons Index. Let's see what comes up. Bada bing, bada boom, got all the index cards. You could download the armies from here. You might, if they have really good models, like, yeah, man, you might just download it, like I have, obviously. But after you get a couple basic things down, you actually want to get most of your armies and the maps and that sort of stuff. You'll probably want to get it from the Discord, which we'll go over here in a second. One thing you absolutely should download first, though, is the FTC mod. In this case, we'll want to search for FTC 10th, it's in 10th edition. It's going to be a few. There's actually, I haven't used this one, but Learning 40k, Learning 10th edition. This one's probably great. If you're, like, new, like, definitely, you might want to download that one. The one I'm going to recommend, though, is the 10th edition competitive base. This is the one I myself use always, and it's the one you see in all my videos. Once you download that, if you wanted to, you could create a match and go into it. We'll actually save that for a second. Once you get Tabletop Simulator downloaded, for 40k play, what you really want to do, you want to find the Discord. So literally, just go on Google and do TTS 40k Discord. And it's going to be right there. When it brings you in, you'll probably be in the Start Playing channel. It'll have, definitely read all of this. Like, go through all of it, and it'll tell you what you need to download, where you need to download, the etiquette, all that sort of stuff. It's going to have a Battle Forge pack, I believe is what it's called, and that's going to have all the maps, all the terrain, all the armies, like every single army, not just for 40k, but AOS and all that stuff. All that stuff's going to be in there. Make sure you download the Battle Forge update. We'll go over, like, finding and playing a game in a second, because the next step is going to be to create your army. So, what you'd want to do is create single player, go to the save and load section. You should have a similar folders to this, depending on how you did it. In this case, I'll go into the Battle Forge mod pack. I'll go into 40k, armies, find my army. In this case, I'll say I want to play demons, so I'm just going to load it. This will come up from time to time. You can try importing it. It usually doesn't matter. I just close them. Basically, I can't find a file, but as you can see, like, okay, I guess these are what are missing. Fate Skimmer and Hellflare. And truthfully, if you needed those, you could just download them off the workshop. So, you get all your units here. So, 10th edition, normally, you would go into Battlescribe, generate a list, and then convert it, which honestly I'm still going to recommend, especially for newer, because it's going to give you at least like the faintest idea of the units. But you could skip the step if you wanted. If you wanted to skip the step, you know, just start pulling out the units and set them aside. So we'll pretend we got that. Pretty much any of the keyboard shortcuts that are like common for Windows are going to work here. So Control-C is in copy, Control-V is in, well, Victor, but paste. Get them there. Maybe I want to bring, you know, I want to bring, definitely want to bring Be'lakor. I want to add some Seekers. Need to be 10-man, though. Another handy thing, the number keys on your keyboard will automatically sort them. So if I want a line of all these guys, I'll just hit 1. Oh, okay, damn it. The Seekers aren't the best example, so these you would probably have to move yourself. But for a unit like this, boom. If you hit 2, it'll do 2 rows, 3 rows, 4 rows, 5. You know, it keeps going as much as you want. So that's super handy because it makes it easy. You just grab a big pile of them, put them together, and sweet, we are good to go. Rotating is Q and E. That's another one that's handy to know. Holding down Alt will zoom in on items. You're not going to do it on the models much, but for index cards, you're definitely going to use that. Once you get your units picked out doing it this way, select them all, right-click on one of them, and hit Save Object. You're going to give it a name, so we'll call it TTS1. Save it. And then, when you're ready to load it, you would go into Objects. Saved Objects. And we can find it. Just drag it in. And it's going to spawn. So that's the first way to do it. The way that I still do it, just because I like having some of the profiles in, and if you are OCD like I am, you can also edit the profiles after and make them accurate. I would look into Battlescribe. So download their app and open it. I know some people aren't so happy with Battlescribe, but it's done a lot for the community. I still appreciate it. We're going to make a new one, add a force. We'll do, we want demons. And we'll just do, definitely want a Bloodthirster, Be'lakor. And we need a bigger unit. We can do, yeah, we can do something like that. Alright, cool. Save the list. ETS. And then another website and another app. So actually, all right, I'm getting ahead of myself. Come in here. The app we're going to use to convert these is called Yellowscribe. And specifically, we need the V2 one. So Yellowscribe V2. Download that. It's going to tell you where to go on there, but the web address is going to be yellowscribe.xyz. Now, what'd I do wrong? Yellowscribe.xyz. Oh, okay. I guess no www. You're going to upload your roster. You're going to come down here and submit it. Going to give you a little code. And so we downloaded the mod from the workshop. So we're just going to come in here. The search feature. When you're looking for something, you almost always will want to start with the search feature. We're going to load this. Paste in our code. Look how cool this is. Like, what a great tool for the community. Like, this is crazy. And once Battlescribe gets updated to 10th, like, hopefully, yeah, this will be even easier. Now, and when that happens, this will be the way to play. Like, it's actually kind of annoying when people bring blank models. It's okay for now because of 10th edition, but just be aware, like, it's kind of, I consider it part of the etiquette. But we will bring in our models. So, all you got to do, oops. So don't worry that these don't match up, whatever. So click on the card and choose the model that it is. Click on the card. Sometimes I'll have differences, so if the loadout mattered, so maybe I want the leader to be that guy and the rest to be those dudes. And then flamers. Actually, okay, so this is good to know. So, and this happens all the time, especially in this situation. Oh, crap, I forgot a certain model or a certain unit. Here, you can just add it. So we'll come in here. We'll come to Chaos, Demons. And what you do the options and search. And from here, we can do just search for Flamer. Blood Owl. And heck, maybe we can get a Bloodthirster. Okay, these ones are ugly. I picked the wrong pack. Alright. Man, I guess they all look the same. We won't do Exalted. Alright, you got all your models chosen. If you want, you can just delete them and then hit Create Army. And this will now have your actual army. And the reason we like doing this is now, if you hover over it, it's going to bring up their stats. Now, obviously, we're in 10th edition, so these stats don't really match up. That said, they're generally around where they need to be, so that's good for like practice and good for remembering. Also, too, though, you can edit them. So right-click, find the spot you want to change, and just type over there. That's going to take some time, you know, but it's actually not too bad in 10th edition, because they did, like, somewhat simplify certain things. Like, they simplified the profiles. All right, so you got these going. You want to save them. ETS2. And now it's time to get started playing. I would actually, so I wouldn't jump straight into a game, like, be smart about it. You want to practice a little bit and make sure you, like, know how to do the basic, like, operations and whatnot. So, again, I'm just searching FTC. It's going to be the first one. I'm going to load it. Alright, it's going to ask you which seat. Doesn't really matter, so I'll be red. We always want to confirm for gaming, unless you're randomly making a map, but we don't really do that. You can change the board size if you need to. And then, what you, well, okay, at this point, you would wait for your opponent, but in this case, actually, we're practicing, that's right. So, what you want to do after is load a map. There's multiple ways to do it. So, if you do the Battle Forge, you can just come in here, find the maps, find the game size, and you got all these options to choose from, and you would just hit additive load. Oh, again, this comes up, just close it. So, that's an interesting map. That's another reason you kind of want to go through them. That way you can look at them beforehand. In this case, actually, yeah, maybe I don't like it. I'll remove it. And we will just quickly find a different one. I'm trying to, like, are there any I've played before? I think this one's kind of cool. Let's see. Ah, okay. I was kind of hoping this would happen, honestly. Some maps, like, it's going to happen kind of frequently. They're going to bug out. What you want to do is right-click on the map. This is the way I know to fix it. Go to scale and just make it a little bigger. Just hit up once, and cool. No more, you know, seizure-inducing flashing lights. From there, we would load our army. And bada bing, bada boom. You should be ready to play. So, we got TTS set up. We know how to generate our armies. If we want, we can edit the profiles and make them easier to use. So, again, how it's similar. So, 3 out of 3, like, that's great. And this guy, you know, just change it to the 22 or whatever he's at. So, at the very least, they'll give you the wound counts. I really do like doing the Yellowscribe route. Alright, some handy things to know. So, one of the main features are, like, yeah, man, one of the best parts of FTC and any similar things are going to be the dice rolling features. So let's say I got a Gaggle of Possess going in there. They're going to be 41 attack or 40 attacks. I'm just 25, 35, 40 dice. I'm going to hit all in threes. Ooh, not good. To delete a single row, you just left-click on the delete option. To delete everything below, you would right-click on it. So if I want to delete all the 4s and the 1s, I'm going to right-click. You can then either roll all the dice or pick them up and drop them in there. I'm going to wound on 3s, we'll say. You got a 4-up save, we'll say. Alright, cool. I just killed 6 models. So, definitely, like, get used to the dice rolling thing. It takes a minute to, you know, flip between deleting properly or not. Also, too, let's say you make a mistake. So, ooh, crap, I just deleted everything. I didn't mean to do that. Down here, it shows you. It gives you a rundown of everything that was deleted. So I could say, oh, okay, I deleted 1, 4 2s, and 3s. You just hit the tilde key to bring... Oh, I guess tilde key doesn't do it. Let's see. Okay, yeah, tilde key and game to bring that back up, I think. Maybe just hit enter. Okay, just hit enter. Up here, so this is how you're going to keep track of the game. When you first join the game, click on this sheet up here. And then to add your name, you just click on it. So click on the player 1 or 2. And this way you can track your scoring pretty easily. And as you can see, it updates for you. You got your command points. You choose whose turn it is. Another thing you should download off the workshop is going to be the Leviathan Mission deck, or like mission cards. So if I just search mission, again, I want to add something. You could do additive load, but it might like warp into a building. I'm just going to search with the attacker, defender, We'll get the Leviathan rules, maybe. Maybe we want the... Or we do need the deck and the mission rules. And from here, so rotate them around. You can shuffle them, so right-click and shuffle and all that, but otherwise... oh, okay, another good key to know. F to flip. F is in Frank. That's how you mark models dying. Just tap them down as they die. But we'll flip them over. Draw our cards. Flip them over again. And a really good key to know, I think I mentioned earlier, but Alt. Hit Alt and mouse wheel, and you can zoom in, and suddenly you can read it. So, I do highly recommend you download that mod pack that has the mission cards in it. Again, it helps you practice. You can pull out all of them and just see what all the missions look like all that. Very handy. Let's see, what are some more basics that we need to go over? So, that's right. So, when you pick out your mission, you pick out everything. Up here, you can mirror them. So, maybe I got the Hammer and Anvil deployments. So, I'm going to put them there. Okay. So, this is interesting. So, normally, the objectives would show. But because the board wigged out, and I had to increase the size, you actually don't see the objectives. Super easy way to fix that is the objective height right here. So, I'm just going to hit the plus symbol until I see them. Boom. Right there. Now we got our objectives showing. So, definitely something good to know. And then for deployment, pretty easy. Here, I'm actually going to delete these. Just find your side. Oh, how it's automatically measuring. You can turn that on or off for each unit by highlighting them, right-clicking, and in toggles, you can turn off or on measure movement. You often want to keep that on. What I tend to use, though, and this is one of the more important keys to know, is if you hit Tab. Tab is going to let you see the measurement. Actually, yeah, we'll do a whole thing on movement. So let's just deploy our guys. Oops. And maybe I want to hide these guys back here. I'm going to deep strike that dude. This guy's obviously going to go kick some butt. You could use this board over here for the deep strike. Like, this is what they're supposed to be for, so you put them in, you know, reserves or whatever. I actually don't like those boards. I normally delete them. Speaking of which, let's say that you find so, like, I can't... Hit and delete does nothing. There's two ways. You just right-click and now hit delete, or you can go into toggles and unlock it. Obviously, you can do the opposite and lock things, but now it's selectable. That applies to the train especially. Like, that's where you might use that. Alright, so we got our guys there. It's not going to let me hit start game because there's not somebody in the second seat, so it's going to leave the deployment there. I think, too, they're like a physical barrier. Okay, sometimes they're a physical barrier that you can't move across. Not in this case, though. But you'd hit start game. Now, for movement, alright, so there's a bunch of stuff that you need to know about that. So, the first one I mentioned earlier is holding down tab. Always, always, always. It's like basic etiquette that you hold down tab. If you were to play a game and just constantly, like, move stuff without measuring it, like, nah, man, I'd call you out. Gotta measure it. So hold down tab. That's the first big one. Another, the second most important thing to know related to this is, let's say you want to undo something before letting go, you can hit escape. That is, like, the best way to see, like, okay, he's got 20-inch movement. I wonder if I can get up here. Maybe, but he's going to fall off the edge, so I'll just hit escape. Doesn't work after you let go of it. You could maybe hit Control-Z as in zebra to, like, undo, but be wary of that, because it'll, like, freeze the game and do some funky stuff, and it might go back too far if it didn't, like, record your last thing, so be really careful with the undo button, but it is there. Another handy one while moving them, so pretty much always hold down Alt, like, just get used to it, or add the auto ruler to it. But if you hold down right-click, it will stay on the ground. So, yeah, sometimes it's going to get funky trying to get inside a building. So, like, he's lifting up. You could turn off auto lift or whatever, but honestly, the easy way, hold down right-click and then just release. So, another handy tool to know. Again, holding down tab lets you measure. Hitting escape while they're hovering will undo it. Holding down right-click while you move right and left click, I guess, will drag them across the floor. Like I mentioned earlier, so as you take casualties and stuff, you're going to want to flip them. That's normally the way to do it. That way you can track morale pretty easily. Again, to do that is F as in Frank. So if these guys took 6 casualties, I would just flip them that way. And then after we, like, resolve morale and all that stuff, like any rules that come up, then you can delete them. Now, I'll admit, 10th edition is a little different. Now they just, like, always take it if they're below half. So, technically, you could probably get away with just deleting them immediately. But you would just need to remember that, oh, this is a 10-man, not a 5-man. So, this is at half morale. So, there is a little variance to that. But, you know, old habits die hard. Let's see. What else is valuable for getting set up on Tabletop Simulator? You know, that's most of the, like, mechanical-wise. Like, obviously, practice makes perfect, guys. Get out there and practice. I'm going to say, too, also, so there's a little bit more, like, actually finding and starting a game. We'll go over that in a second. Related to that, though, people are so insanely kind on the Discord. Like, literally 90-some-odd% of the people I've met are, like, some of the friendliest people you'll talk to. They're also especially friendly, like crazy friendly to newer players. I'm actually surprised, like, how willing they are to, like, show people how to play and whatnot all the time. If you do that, so to find a game, like, don't be nervous. People are super nice, man. And, you know, you can just be upfront that you're new. But anyways, go to the looking for games section. And what you would do, you would type @ so it won't let me type, whatever. But you do @ LFG, and then you can choose between, I believe it's competitive, casual, beginner, and there might be another one, like completely new or something. But anyways, you choose the type you want. Obviously, you put in the points value, and, you know, you can say 10th, you can say, please no Eldar, or, you know, come clap my greasy cheeks. You got a bunch of things you can say. If you are brand new, I would consider doing @mentor. Like, mentor me, I need a mentor. Do @mentor and say, hey, would anybody be willing to show me how to use TTS? Or, I've never played 40k before, would anybody mind showing me how to play? Like, almost all the time, man, I see people actually be like, yeah, man, I'll come show you. And I'm always like, damn, dude, like, that's really nice of you, because that's a lot of your time. So, you go on ahead, maybe you do that. So you do looking for game, casual, just a 1K game. I want to make it quick. I got to work tomorrow or whatever. You'll find an opponent, and then see how they just say 4 or like something like that. They're talking about the room number. So if you scroll down a ways, you got all these rooms. You would just double click and start talking. I should clarify, like, you have to have a mic. If you don't have a mic, like, don't waste everybody's time. You need a mic to play this. Also, too, I believe if you're new, it's been a while for me. Yeah, if you're new, you got to go to the new members lobby. So you would actually say, like, new 13. Or, well, okay, it doesn't go that high, but you say new 10 and meet them in 10. Chances are, if you're brand new, they'll create the match, but maybe you and a friend are going to play together. What you would do is, go to the main menu. All right, you would choose create multiplayer. You would give it a name. So right here, I got war 123 password 123. I'm gonna create it. I'm gonna find my mod. Did I do that right? Let's find out. Yeah, I did. Okay. I'm like, why is it showing me that? All right, choose your seat. Confirm for gaming. I would wait for the opponent. It's like basic etiquette. Wait for the opponent to show up. And I usually do map first, so it doesn't seem like you guys are like you're choosing a certain map for their army or whatever. But wait for your opponent and then load a map. That way you can both agree on it. If they don't like it, if they got an issue on it, they can, you know, ask you politely to change it. But again, additive load. Screw those. They pop up a lot. And bada bing, bada boom, man. I think that's it. I think that's the main stuff I want to touch on for TTS. I know this isn't like the most in-depth video I've ever created or whatever, but I do hope it's useful for some of you newer guys out there. I 100% recommend TTS for new player. I recommend it for every player. Even if you're advanced, you've been playing 20 years, like whatever, TTS is an amazing tool. Very, very like valuable for the community. I really love this tool for sure. Anyways, let me know if you guys got anything to add. Hope, like I said, I hope this was useful for some of you out there. I plan on doing another video. So originally I was going to do this big, long video on doing TTS and then preparing for tournaments with TTS. I realized I should split them up because it's sort of two different subjects. But I'm going to release another video, hopefully shortly, that goes over like using TTS for tournament play. And that should have some good tips for like the actual playing part of side of things. Please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoy this content. Appreciate you guys watching, and have a great night.